Hey, welcome back to the Strange and Uncanny. We're going to get into hauntings today. It's kind of like, I don't know, I've always been into hauntings. I think most people have. Anybody that's into paranormal has definitely been into hauntings. And I've lived in several haunted houses, what have you. I was flipping through YouTube. I seen a bunch of 10 most haunted, 20 most haunted, all this bullshit. And I thought, you know what? There is a lot of places out there. And I think I've seen documentaries on just about all of them. So I picked 3 that if I could possibly go to one of them, I would. And every one of these you can actually still go to. Which I think is cool. One of them's a museum. One of them you can do tours daytime and nighttime. And the other one I believe you can stay in overnight. I believe you can actually stay there. But anyhow, real quick, I want to tell you something a little bit funny. I heard this the other day, and it was basically, what kind of jeans does a ghost hunter wear? Paranormal jeans. One you can even tell the kids there's no cuss words, or it's not dirty, or none of that shit. But anyhow, we're going to hop into this. We're going to start out with the Whaley House. San Diego, California, built in 1857 by Mr. Thomas Whaley. The house was actually, and this isn't rumor, this is actual fact, it was built on the site of the public gallows. So you can imagine the energy in that area. Actually, it is where there was a famous hanging there of a man named Yankee Jim. And you can look it up. It's kind of a cool little story and all this. But anyhow, there's been a lot of tragedy there. His 18-month-old son, Thomas Jr., passed away there. His daughter unalived herself there, and I believe in her 20s. There's been reports of footsteps, which actually the footsteps go all the way back to when the house was built. Thomas himself said that he heard heavy footsteps, which he believed to be Yankee Jim. But anyhow, since then, you are supposed to still be able to hear babies crying, or a baby crying. And the daughter is known to be seen walking the hallways. So, if you get a chance to check anything out, the Whaley House looks pretty cool. If you get a chance to stay there or go in there or what have you, do that too. Second one up on the list. This one was built in 1796. This is absolutely one of my favorites. I read a book on this one probably, 13, 14 years ago. Pretty awesome. It's the Myrtles Plantation in Francisville, Louisiana. St. Francisville, Louisiana. Sorry about that. It's an antebellum style house. Beautiful, beautiful home. There were supposedly several. I can imagine with the age of the home, there's been a lot of tragedy. But there's supposed to be at least 10 soldiers that walk the grounds. A later story, I believe it was the second owner, had a servant named Chloe, which he had extracurricular activities with. She supposedly had got jealous and wanted to poison the wife so she could move into that, she wouldn't have nobody to compete with. Well, it accidentally poisoned the children to where you can only imagine what happened to her after that. But her ghost is known to roam the hallways. Like I said, there's supposed to be soldiers that roam the ground. They say that your hair gets tugged, your clothing gets pulled on. Chloe also, I forgot to mention this, only had one ear. She had her ear cut off for eavesdropping on a conversation, which couldn't imagine that one. God damn, I wouldn't have any ears. And then we're going to move on to the Ram's Inn. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Gloucestershire, England. This place was actually built in 1145. Now, just think about that for a minute. 1145. This is 2026. I mean, that's crazy as hell how long ago that was. It was rumored to be built on a pagan burial site and known for demonic rituals, and it had ties to witchcraft, what have you. The place, they say that, it's a gateway to hell, but I just say what they say. A lot of activity, every room, the cellar, I mean, everything. This place, there's hundreds of witnesses through the years. Obviously, if the place was built in 1145, probably a lot of witnesses through the years. I know that one of the owners reported that he was actually pulled from his bed and dragged down the hallway or across his room or something like that. This place is still standing. It's one of the coolest places I think I've ever watched a documentary on. I mean, this place just looks like nightmare fuel. It's spooky as hell looking. It was actually rumored that the devil himself once slept there. So, I don't know. If I had to pick any three places that I'd like to go on a bucket list, now I'm not including like asylums or old institutions or anything like that, haunted hospitals, none of that. Just houses, like single family dwellings, I should say. Those would definitely be three that I would love to go to. I mean, you've still got the Sally House. There's several other ones. I was talking to somebody about this recently, and I don't mean to speak ill on anybody, but they actually asked me if why I don't think that the Conjuring house is really what it says it is, or the Amityville. I just don't have a lot of faith in the Warrens. That's my own, opinion. I grew up, watching Amityville Horror. I've read everything I could possibly read about the Warrens. Not saying they were total shysters, but they weren't. I don't think that they were. How do I want to say it? I don't think they were untarnished, if you know what I mean. I think that they seen dollar signs on a lot of shit and they ran with it. It's like a lot of the the ghost shows I watch on YouTube. I think a lot of them's hilarious. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're fake as shit, but they are fun to watch. I mean, I'm one of them people that watch Mountain Monsters. Do I think they're going to find a Bigfoot or anything? Fuck no, I don't think they're going to find it. But man, it's funny as hell, and I love to watch it. So just keep that in mind. There is things out there that's solely for entertainment purposes. Even this channel, I consider for entertainment purposes. I don't want anybody, take anything for gospel, because this is the internet. This is YouTube, and that's just, I mean, everything. Nothing's firsthand on here, if you remember that. If we're talking conspiracy, I sure as hell didn't get a secret phone call from somebody to tell me something. I dug for my information like everybody else does, and it doesn't always prove to be true. But with that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful day or evening or what time I get this goddamn video done, but editing's a bitch, I'll tell you. I'm not good at it, as you can tell when you watch my videos, but I think I'm getting a little bit better, but man, does it take some time. So until the next time, like, share, subscribe. Have a good one. Peace.